Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're actually talking about right now about the drama of, well, getting a little bit older, kind of giving up on your passion in gaming, and at the same time, putting your PlayStation 5 up in the attic and completely boxing on up and forgetting about it and either moving on with your dadly duties or like I guess if you're a wife, your wifely duties, or just kind of going saying whatever, gaming's not for me anymore. Because right now we're now seeing a bigger influx and kind of some of the comments that kind of highlight out for me as of now, and then it's also slowly resonating with me too. Now, as you guys probably know, or maybe if you guys don't, I am 29. I'm on the slightly older side, but I've also done other things throughout my life besides doing like YouTube or Twitch, and I've done other various things such as working real jobs, management jobs. Like I've worked with there's a lot of various other side companies. I've worked with brands, or even if you even saw, we just even did like a cool Newegg sponsor not too long ago. So I've done a lot of little various things. I've made some businesses, and I'm not like some crazy entrepreneurial person, but at the same time, I'm saying this because I have kind of grown up. Now, when I was like, 14 to 18, where I'd go home, I'd sit on my computer, play League of Legends, go pop on Call of Duty with my friends, play Halo all night, that was kind of my golden era and golden days of being a gamer. But maybe some of you guys might start, maybe are slowly getting there. Whether you guys are maybe slightly older than me, maybe you guys have kids, or maybe you guys are on that younger side, but at certain points, some games are just not hitting the way they should. And I saw this kind of pop up on a Metro that had like a reader's feature of them basically giving up their consoles and their games, and as well, even other bigger topics of some folks, how they kind of just given up on gaming as a whole. And maybe not fully given up, but at least have definitely lowered their interest as time's gone on. Maybe, like I said, you get married, you have kids, maybe you have a busy job or whatever. You could still enjoy gaming, but maybe you don't have the time to go do it, which has always been kind of a ongoing meme of, hey, I have all this money now and I can buy all these games, but I don't have the time to play the games. First, when you're a kid, you basically had all this time to go play games. You never had the money to go and buy things that you want to go and buy. And that's where things get intriguing, because now apparently we're seeing some readers and some people out there just putting their PlayStation 5s in the attic, completely giving up. And I want to talk about that throughout this video and see if it resonates with all of you guys watching. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. Give me your thoughts on all this down below, so I can read through the comments whenever I'm laying in my bed and chilling. And we have the Twitter and Twitch room as well if you guys want to follow and swing on by. And I appreciate y'all for watching. Let's go dive on into it. So as I mentioned, as people get older, not to say that their love for gaming maybe falls off, but more so maybe life just kind of gets in the way. Like I said, maybe you have a kid, maybe you have a dog, maybe you have a really demanding job, maybe you have to work 2 jobs to make sure you can pay your bills. Whatever circumstances might go and be for you guys, I understand, because I've been in the same boat where sometimes you have to go do that extra little bit of effort and you have to go take a step back from gaming. Thankfully, as I mentioned, I've been a Twitch streamer, so I've had a chance to somewhat make a little bit of pocket change while also going streaming and playing games. Or say for a YouTube video, I could justify playing a game so I could talk about it and, whatever it might be. But at the same time, some people don't have that luxury. And we have a viewer write in over here, which are always sometimes the more intriguing stories, where they say, why I packed up my PlayStation 5 and put it in the attic with the reader's feature. So now our reader is talking about over here, saying, so it finally happened. After 36 years of gaming, I put my PlayStation 5 back into its box and sent it to the attic. Now, to me, this is a little bit on the sad side because, even if I had no time in the planet, I'd still want to be looking forward to that extra hour or two to pop on a game, pop on a Helldivers, pop on a Fortnite, Rocket League, Call of Duty, whatever it might go and be. Even if it's older games, free-to-play games, sometimes you just really enjoy that solace of just being able to sit around for an hour and then you're just done. And then you're just chilling, then you're just relaxing, you know what I mean? And it makes me sad this person, the life kind of just caught up on them. They're saying, so now as a lifelong gamer, I would have laughed if anyone was to suggest that this would have happened to me at 41. I've been thinking of putting the PlayStation 5 away now for a long time and finally bit the bullet over the weekend. And right now their console is just put away. It's gone. It's in the attic. Now, I'm one of those side people where I think if I was just done with my console to the point where I'm going to put it in the attic, I'd probably just sell it. You're not going to get full value. You maybe get like $300, trade into GameStop. I don't know, whatever you might go and do. If you just think you're full, if you're committed enough to put in the attic, you're donezo. I don't know about you guys, but I have been in my attic probably about once a year, if even that. And every single time I've despised having to go through the process of moving boxes, fighting boxes, going those cramped corners and seeing spiders everywhere. It's never a fun time. Once you kind of put things in the attic, it is done. It is over. It is finito. It is basically the graveyard of random useless junk. But the PlayStation 5 isn't really useless junk. If anything, you're going to sit there for a few years, if not even for quite a few months, why not just sell it? Maybe like loan out to one of your friends, one of your buddies, or maybe at the same point, just keep it out. Because what if you just want to pop on in for an hour? You have that nice Sunday night. It's 8 p.m. You got 2 hours, 3 hours before you want to pass out for work. Your wife's busy, you're busy, like the kids are asleep, whatever. That's like your golden hour. And what about with that vibe that pops up there and you have to go on the addict? You're not going to do that. You're going to go put on a movie on Netflix instead. And at that point, you're kind of just wasting money. So saying now I'm purely sounding off here. So do not expect some divine statement or enlightening monologue, but hopefully GC will use it as at least it breaks up the repeated my Xbox is better than your PS5 features you seem to be getting a lot, which basically this website has like people writing on in. And this guy's going to talk about how just as he gets older, like gaming kind of loses the priority. Now, I'm at the same time, as I mentioned, I'm 29. But at the same time for me, as I've gotten older, there's been days where I'm like, I just want to go and watch a movie. There are days where I'm like, I have no game that is interested for me. And there's definitely days even for me as a Twitch streamer where I'm like, I don't really want to play a game. I'd rather sit there and just chatting, hang out, and just talk to people for 4 hours and be done and go on my merry way than I would always force myself to playing games. Although that also could just be my own burnout because I do play games so much. Like even for this past week, I have quite literally played Dragon's Dogma, Once Human. I have played games like League of Legends quite a bit and a lot of other various mid-tier games. But I always feel like I still do have that love for gaming. If I went on a vacation for a week, I'm not like addicted, but when I'd come home, I would like to enjoy, I'd look forward to me like sitting on my couch and playing some games, at least for a few hours, or coming back with my Twitch stream and hanging out and chill. But it's crazy because they're saying I've been mulling over the reasons for why I have fallen out of love with gaming. Maybe having a couple kids under 6, which is kind of why I brought up the kid stuff. And if you guys have kids yourselves, more power to you guys. The dads out there, the moms out there, you guys are killing it. Good job. Keep it up. And even if you have to go put back gaming in the back burner, think about how nice it's going to be in the future. You go load up some games with your kids, like it's going to be wholesome. It's going to be fun. You can play some Switch games with your whole family. Like there's always times to work on it if you want to put that for your kids. Or if not, you just want to make sure your kids are happy, healthy, and having a good job and having a good life with your family. You know what? Once again, more power to you. Like that's respectable. And I like that. But they're saying like, hey, it's like maybe a midlife crisis. And if I do not return to some kind of creative outlet, my book, game, and painting will never get made. And they're also saying, too, maybe it's just the state of the industry at the present, with a complete lack of creativity, predatory models, toxicity of the fan base, directionless manufacturers, etc. Or maybe it's just my brain coming to terms with the modern day end of times. And it's crazy because they're saying it's like a mixture of everything, which makes me kind of sad to see, because I do agree to some points, to an extent. I do think a lot of games have been kind of directionless or soulless. They don't have that passion, that drive, even when I was a kid. Maybe I'm just a boomer myself and kind of reminiscing on the quote-unquote good times. But yeah, there's a lot of feelings out here that I feel where I miss this. Like they said they've played Baldur's Gate 3, which I thought was fantastic, but I never beat it. I've never played Tekken, but I played Tekken 7. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, I want to play more, but they're saying they felt nothing. They keep my interest for a matter of a few hours, then I lose all enthusiasm for them, which in all honesty, I kind of feel the same boat. Maybe I'm just chasing the FOMO and chasing the feelings when I was a kid, but I can understand this. It's like you go and spend $70, you enjoy Final Fantasy, and I thought Final Fantasy was great, but for some odd reason, I stopped on like Chapter 5, and I really should get back to it. Same with Baldur's Gate. I put like 30 hours into it, loved the game, but I just never finished it. And they kind of talked about later on, too, how they kind of sometimes switch to other games. Maybe they switch into games like Helldivers. I think it's more for the Reddit post. And it's kind of an intriguing thought because it seems like a lot of people go through this. As they get older, their love for the game or their commitment for the game or their time they have for the game kind of packs on up. And it's kind of sad to go and see. And they're saying they say that there's going to be no doubt they'll come back. And I kind of feel the same boat. I think no matter what, I'd always want to be involved in some types of games. But it's kind of sad to go and see as we get older and older and older, our priorities are different and different and different, which makes sense. Because even some people are saying, hey, like I've been sitting over here too on top of this one. Some people like to go play games on top of this one. They check out different games. They go and download different stuff. They try to go make space. They do it again. And they move on throughout the next thing next week. It's intriguing because some people are like, hey, that just call being a normal working adult who happens to have gaming as a hobby because they know the exact same feeling. And that's kind of why I'm making this video, because I want to see if you guys feel the same boat. And it gets worse the older you get too. Okay, that's just on me and the storage space, my bad. Like for them, they're saying they made it to the ship de Costa de Sol in the Final Fantasy Rebirth 2 as well, and they were so happy and they want to enjoy it, and they just kind of dropped it. And then they get like distracted by real life responsibilities, or they go to other easier live service games like Helldivers. And I'm kind of in that same boat where for me, I enjoy the games that are quicker and popping on. So think like an Apex, Overwatch, League of Legends. You play one game for 40 minutes, you can be done at the time if you want to. Games like CSGO, things like Call of Duty would pop on for even 20 minutes if you got it as well. And I think it's kind of weird to see that gaming has evolved so differently, especially when I was a kid, what games I even like, and I'm going to be very curious to see where I end up like even 10 years from now, or more so 11 years to kind of match that same reader who was writing on in. So it's kind of weird to see that people just kind of give up on gaming, but I get it though. Like I understand life, it has different priorities as you grow up, and I'm slowly getting to that age myself. Like, I'm not that youngin' who's 19 years old and wants to go play games 24/7. I am now that slightly older man who doesn't mind playing games, but at the same time, if I had a wife who's like, hey, let's go on a vacation, let's go do apple picking, at a certain point, I'm like, yeah, that sounds kind of fun. Let's go do that instead of playing some Call of Duty with the boys for the night. You know what I mean? So I'm intrigued. I want to hear your thoughts. A little bit of a ramble slash talk slash my own take on it one. But are you one of those people who have kind of lost their love for gaming or have to prioritize other stuff? Do you wish you had more time to sit down and play games? I want to know. This is a little bit of a fun video. Make sure you guys are subscribed, notifications, how we get that, Twitter and Twitch down below. And I appreciate y'all for watching in the first place.